It's a big episode in the Sledging Room podcast. We all expected a thrilling final day in the third test at the Gaba in Brisbane, but it did not pan out the way it did, way we expected it to. There was rain for like most of the fifth day, and the test ended in a draw. Good thing is the series is 1-1 uh, before heading into the Boxing Day test. Saurabh and Kingshuk, I just wanted to ask you whether the momentum has shifted towards India with whatever has happened in the last 2 days. But before going there, we need to address that bombshell of a decision. Some people are saying it is on the expected lines. Yes, he has the right to do it. But some are saying he shouldn't have done it midway through the series. Probably some of you might have already guessed it. We are talking about R. Ashwin's retirement midway through the Border Gavaskar series. At the end of the third test, Ashwin accompanied Rohit Sharma to the press conference. We all expected, few of us expected the other man to retire, I think. I don't know, Kingshuk, did you?
Yeah, it felt so.
Yeah. No, jokes apart, but Ashwin has called time on his career after 106 test matches, if I'm not wrong, and over 500 wickets, a modern day great without a doubt. But was the timing right? Saurabh, let us start with that question. Although every cricketer has his own right to decide when to call it quits, should it have come in the middle of a big series like this?
If you ask me, it was very, very shocking for me. Because, a cricketer of R. Ashwin's stature, the amount of matches you have won for India, then you have one bad home series against New Zealand where you get whitewashed. Ashwin did not perform as he is expected to perform in Indian conditions. Then you go to Australia, you do not play the first test. Rohit Sharma comes in as the captain, convinces R. Ashwin, as Rohit Sharma has said in this press conference, that I convinced R. Ashwin to play the Perth test. Ashwin, no, not the Perth test, the Adelaide test. Ashwin plays the test, then he gets dropped for the third test. And on day 5, he comes out and says, okay, this will be my last day as India cricketer.
Yeah. Even there was smoke in the morning saying that a big announcement was about to come.
Yeah.
A couple of journalists put it out, and then our reporter also said that one big announcement has to come, and we all expected probably a few names. All of us had a few names in the mind, and when that viral video of Ashwin and Kohli hugging each other went from the dressing room was captured, we all feared like which one of the two would retire. But in the end, it turned out to be Ashwin. Like Kingshuk, I'm putting the same question to you in a different way. Do you think Ashwin could have postponed his retirement, maybe played another couple of years? Do you think he had the legs in him to do that?
So like I've always thought Ashwin as a very methodical guy. Like when he talks about clarity. He talks about how he overthinks everything, and that's what gets him to the top level. Like for me, this decision of his at this particular juncture of this series, that looks a little out of character. I have never thought that Ashwin, will wake up one day and say that, you know what, I don't have the legs to do this anymore, and I am calling it quits.
No, he didn't say that he didn't have the legs. He clearly mentioned
that he has a little
that
more.
I have a little more fuel.
Club cricket mein karunga.
Yeah.
So I always think that Ashwin is still at a level where he could have gotten to that 550 mark or maybe even 600 mark, but that's not gonna happen, and that makes me sad. But Saurav said that every cricketer has his right to retire whenever he wants.
Saurav and Rohit Sharma.
Right, Saurav and Rohit Sharma.
At the press
but
conference.
For me, that Sydney and Melbourne were the two pitches where I thought that Ashwin would have been our best bet. But doing this essentially plays into a little bit into Australia's hand, because that's one less worry for them now.
Okay.
That either Jadeja will play or Washington Sundar will play. Both of them who don't turn the ball a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't, because I remember in my years of watching cricket, in the recent 10 years of BGT, the conversation has always been Ashwin left-hander ko kha jayega. They cannot bat against us.
Yeah.
Even we saw against England earlier this year that people were scared of Ashwin, even while that series was a little tumultuous for him. But now, 3 tests down, 2 tests, Sydney especially conducive to spin, Ashwin has gone out. So it did not sit right with me. But yeah, again, huge respect to Ashwin. I'm not questioning his decision. But my personal opinion is that this could have come after the series.
Yeah.
it should have come after the series. Considering R. Ashwin, you have given so much to Indian cricket. Why not a farewell test?
Okay, you're okay.
Yeah, because I am not questioning his decision. I
Yeah.
am questioning the timing of his decision. Okay, 3 test matches done, 2 more test matches. You could have gone back after, you could have retired on 7th of January. Steve Waugh retired after playing a full-fledged Border Gavaskar trophy against India. Ganguly retired like that. Kumble retired like that. You could have announced that I will retire. You could have played 2 more test matches.
Yeah.
Just coming out and saying that, okay, I am done.
Mm.
And not saying that I am done actually. He did not say that I am done, but I am retiring. This gives another hint towards, I don't know what was happening in the dressing room, whatever happened. See, the messages that have come after retirement from Rohit, from Kohli, from Gambhir, it looks everything is fine. But if you read between the lines, which people will read, it does not look that everything is fine. Yeah, because R. Ashwin retiring and then he's saying, I still have got that thing.
Yeah.
And I will put it in my club cricket.
Yeah.
India needed
What do you
him.
think must have gone wrong, Saurabh? As in, like, we
No, it is
shouldn't-
the whole press conference is wrong. Pata hai? Rohit says that I convinced him to play that pink ball test match.
Yeah.
Which means, did he want to retire before the BGT?
Yeah, that's
after the New
clearly-
Zealand horrendous series?
Yeah, that's clearly, as an even reports, an Indian
Right.
Express report claims that, he kind of informed his family that he would think about retirement in Australia. He was not sure and he would see how it goes there and then make a call. But what I personally
No,
think
just
is,
one more thing is that do Indian captain and Indian coach have not enough pull to convince Ashwin to see through the 5 test matches? Because injuries might happen. Injuries might happen in Melbourne. How are you so sure that one of your spinners is not going to get injured?
and to make it clear that Rohit Sharma confirmed that Ashwin would be returning from Australia on December 19 and that he's not going to stay with the squad for Melbourne and Sydney. So those chances, like you said, and Sunil Gavaskar on broadcast explained, as in like it looked, Sunil Gavaskar said that you will be one man short and probably express the similar feelings, saying that probably he should have waited until the end of the series. But again, I think the last straw must have been the Perth test, where
Okay.
India, if they needed an off spinner to bowl in that test, when they went for Washington Sundar, that is, I'm not saying that Ashwin's feelings must have hurt, but Ashwin, being the man that he is, like he said, the calculator that he is, must have realized that probably I'm no longer needed for this series. Probably I'm no longer the first choice off spinner. He has played as the second fiddle to Ravindra Jadeja on many overseas tours. Even under Virat Kohli's captaincy, he has done that. He did not play an entire England series. He did not play the World Test Championship final. All those things he has spoken about them as well. But I think when you come to Australia, where he has done well in the past, especially in the last series,
40 wickets in 10 matches, man.
yeah, and then you pick Washington Sundar. I'm not saying Sundar was a wrong pick or right pick, but when you're in that position, when you see, okay, the team probably wants a younger player to play there who can give a better batting, although records don't suggest that Ashwin is not a mug with the bat. That we all know that he has six centuries, I think, in Test cricket, and he has that famous Sydney knock where he survived that half a day of barrage from the Australian bowlers. But I think that where the Perth test could have told him that probably this is time to go.
I think I agree with you that the Perth test might have hinted him, okay, I am not the main man in the team's plans. But this started long back, especially in that Mumbai test.
Yeah.
When a guy who was playing Ranji Trophy was called in the squad.
After
and
3 years.
Yeah, and he was played. And he was getting to bowl ahead of Ashwin.
Yeah.
Even in the Bengaluru test,
Yeah.
we did not see Rohit going to Ashwin with the ball. Ashwin must have felt something.
Yeah.
Because Ashwin as a guy, he has always been, when you play in India especially, I have seen especially in second innings, Ashwin is the man who comes with the ball, who comes after the first pacer. And
One
he
change
New
with
ball,
the
new
ball.
ball.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
bowls with a new ball.
And he
especially
picks
in the second
wickets.
innings.
In Bengaluru, he was not asked to bowl. Then Sundar is added to the squad and he's drafted into playing 11. Then he's bowling ahead of you. Then you come to Australia, you want to compete, but then you see that a youngster has been promoted over you and he has been picked. That is the team's call. Gambhir, Rohit, they must have thought something. Rohit was not there, by the way, but Gambhir must have had a call with Rohit that, okay, we are going to have this playing 11. And then Ashwin must have realized, okay, now this is the time when I believe it's over for me.
Yeah.
And Ashwin, but you need to respect one thing about Ashwin. There's a famous saying which is going on in social media right now that you should leave cricket before cricket leaves you. Ashwin left cricket before cricket left him. So Ashwin will always be remembered as a guy who has left not actually on a high because you lost the series, but overall, if you see, he has been on a high. He performed in the Bangladesh series. He performed with the bat, with the ball. So Ashwin left on a high for me, and that is something which you have not seen amongst Indian cricketers.
Yeah, even today.
Yeah.
Even on the day he retired, I think Mark Nicholas and Sunil Gavaskar were having this chat.
Hmm.
Why is he not playing until the end of the series? So that clearly tells you people are not asking you when will you go. They're asking why have you gone.
Yeah.
So that's a big statement to make, right? Like it's probably timing it right, but it came as a surprise. But I think it's okay. As in, like at that stage of your career, you are allowed to take that call.
Also, I think Bumrah spoke about this a day before, like hinted it. He's saying that Indian bowling is going through a transition period, and I have to watch over everyone. And that kind of tells me that is this the start, like essentially the start of the transition that people have been wanting in the Indian Test team. And this does not just evolve around the bowling attack. It involves the overall arch of the team as well. Like Ashwin speaking to Kohli, right? And Ashwin's in tears.
Yeah.
Does he tell Kohli ki next tera number hai?
No,
or
Ashwin
whatever?
actually spoke about that in the press conference as well. He said, probably I am one of the last, OG cricketers of that era, OG cricketers of that generation, he said. Probably he meant Pujara, Rahane. He mentioned them in the post-match, as in the press conference as well. Pujara, Rahane, Rohit and Kohli for taking those slip catches that kind of got him there.
Yeah.
Got him to wherever he has. But that's a valid question, Saurabh. Like, is this the start of a real transition period? Like, Pujara and Rahane have gone last year. As in, although they haven't officially announced retirement, they are no longer in the team's plan. They are no longer in the team's plans. And Virat and Rohit, people have already started talking about it. And there is Ravindra Jadeja, who's probably in the twilight of his career. He announced his T20 retirement along with Rohit and is this the start? What do you think?
You ask about this transition thing.
Yeah.
For me, this transition started in the England series. When KL Rahul was injured, Virat was not available. There were a lot of debutants. You got Rajat Patidar, Devdutt Padikkal, Sarfaraz Khan, Dhruv Jurel, Akashdeep got. So all these players, they were handed debut, and this was earlier in the start of this year. So this was, I think the team was planning according to this. Even before Gambhir came, Rahul Dravid and Rohit were planning for the transition stage.
Yeah.
They never came out and accepted publicly, but it was on.
Yeah.
And now when you have reached here, when Ashwin has retired, when Rahane and Pujara are no longer in their plans, I think Rahane last played in the WTC final against Australia. After that, he has not played. Gill has been given that number 3 role. Whether he's scoring runs or not scoring runs, he's fixed for that position. So this transition started 1 year ago for me. And with the bowling transition thing, Bumrah is the leader of the pace attack. Now Bumrah will be the leader of the entire bowling attack. It's not going to be there's no Ashwin.
Yeah.
And this is a feeling which, this is for me, I will take some time to process the fact that when India next come for a home test match or home test series, there will be no Ashwin. Yes, you have got a lot of good spinners in India. You have got
when do we
PR.
play the next test match at home?
Yeah, that is a big.
I think that's one of the key reasons that he goes out now.
Yeah, probably, see, we have an England series scheduled in June, July, August.
That is
next
England.
year. In England. Till then, there is no home series. And Ashwin obviously is not part of the white ball plan. Was not part of the white ball plan. So I think that is something that he has kept in his mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I always like. There are a couple of other things that also it's odd with me. Why didn't Ashwin attend the conference himself? Why was Rohit sitting beside him?
No, he didn't play the test match. So how will he attend a press conference?
You have come out here to retire. You can't do that.
What will he speak about the match? Something about the match has to be spoken as well, right?
No, I agree with you, but what surprised me the most was Ashwin comes out, he gives a statement, and then he says,
I will
not take any questions.
That is the
That's
thing
so
which I did not
unlike Ashwin.
like.
And he said that I will probably at an appropriate time I'll speak more about it.
Yeah. So drama incoming, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that given that there is an IPL April May, Ashwin has earned big money, that kind of made him think that nah man, I'm done. If I'm not playing, they're not making me play, I'm done. I'll just play IPL and get done.
I don't think elite cricketers think that way unless and until I don't know. As in, no.
He won't be the first CSK cricketer to retire mid-series. What do you think?
The captain of CSK retired mid-series in Australia.
What do you
Captain
think?
of the Indian team.
Yeah.
Then captain of Indian team.
Yeah.
That is not a legacy we should have. I'm just saying. Mid-series retirements should not be the legacy we have.
You know, the only point that irks me a little bit is Ashwin being there in the squad would have played in Australia's mind. They hate him. As in, like, whatever they say on the face and all that is fine. As in, like, I'm not saying personal hate, but they hate facing him. They
Like
hate
the cricketer.
they hate the prospect of having him in the opposition side. So just putting that thought in, like when you attend a pre-match press conference for Melbourne, Rohit Sharma saying, "Yeah, we might play two spinners," that could have put some thoughts in Australia's head. In Sydney, which is known to assist spinners, in Melbourne, Ashwin did very well last time on that moist pitch. Ashwin, you know, the first day when you had, as in Australia won the toss and opted to bat, but Ashwin's wickets were the turning point, where kind of gave us the momentum in that series itself. So to think that he will not be there for at least the mental aspect of it is just a team game, right? That's exactly what we always think, right? As in, even if you're not playing, being part of the squad also brings a lot of value. Probably if Washington is going to play in Melbourne and Sydney, you being there to probably tell him where to bowl, how to bowl, will also help a great deal. Of course, Ravindra Jadeja is there, but a similar craft off spinner. That's one area where I thought, I don't know whether Ashwin is capable of making such decisions. Probably something more has happened or something has not happened. But that's the end. Like he said, it was the last day of his chapter as an international cricketer.
And also, like, going through the transition period, like Saurav talks about, the India have given so many debuts. Obviously, those changes were forced because your players were not there. But at least there is a bank of batters with international experience who can, take over those positions. In terms of spinners, we don't have anyone.
No, why? How can you even say that?
Let me.
Kuldeep Yadav.
Akshar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav were phased out in this series alone. I did not understand that decision at all.
Kuldeep Yadav has an injury clearly stated by the BCCI release. Kuldeep Yadav was nursing an injury. Akshar Patel was probably deemed a surplus, but I don't know how they arrived at that call as well.
Yeah.
But to say that Akshar is not international
what
quality,
I meant was that out and out spinner. So I said spinner, not spinner batter. I said out and out spinner.
Why do you need a out and out spinner when you have a spinner batter? India always relied on spin bowling all rounder after Anil Kumble and Harbhajan Singh.
Yeah, but Ashwin was a spinner first, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You're like, I know he's got 6 centuries, the joint highest for his position in Test cricket.
Ashwin started his career as a batter.
Opening batter. We all know that. Let's not go there.
Yeah.
But
I do think that we have replacements. As in, like, you don't have to worry about.
And one more point, you can't replace R. Ashwin. You just can't replace him.
So
even if he might have played next 2 years, do you think you would have a perfect replacement for him as a spinner? I don't think so. You will again go to the same options. You'll go to Akshar, you'll go to Kuldeep, you'll go to Sundar. Jadeja is there. I don't know how long will Jadeja play. So you can't replace R. Ashwin the spinner. This is what I think.
You know, the only thing that I can't imagine is Jadeja bowling without Ashwin in a home series. Like that Indran Chandran combo is what missing.
I'm worried about.
That Indran Chandran
but,
combo.
All good things come to an end.
Yeah.
And it has come on.
But when you spoke about Rohit and Gambhir or Rohit and Dravid planning, I just remembered about one of my seniors in college.
Yeah.
Who was the placement officer in our college. He was 1 year.
You?
No. He was one of the placement officers.
But in last podcast episode, it was you.
It's an example. Listen to it. Don't research it. Okay? So he was not eligible for placements, but he was a placement officer. So I'm just bringing that point. When Rohit plans these things, that kind of gives me those vibes.
Enough about Ashwin, yaar. What do you think of the Gabba Test, man?
Exactly. So Kingshok and I had an argument yesterday.
Yeah, like most days.
So whether the momentum was with India or Australia after the 4th day end, and after 89 or 79 for 7 or 89 for 7, 89 for 7. What do you think, Kingshok? I'm going to throw the floor open to you. Who heads to Melbourne with the edge?
I think still Australia. Because again, we have to take numbers into account that we are still 190 runs down. And given a full day's play, the advantage would still be held with Australia. But thankfully, due to the conditions or due to their misplanning of the first innings also, somewhat, they put themselves in a position where they could not bowl out India through and through. But I still think that given the performance of our seniors going into the Melbourne Test, the Boxing Day Test, advantage is still held over Australia. Yeah.
Saurabh, what do you think?
I don't think Australia has that advantage anymore. And this is not what I am speaking. Yesterday, Australian bowling coach
Dan Vettori.
Dan Vettori came out and he accepted that we had a simple plan. We don't have Hazelwood. What we'll do is we'll try and manage the workload of Cummins and Stark. We'll bowl them out, give them follow-on, and win the test match. What Bumrah and Akashdeep did, yes, I agree with Kingshuk that our main batters have not scored runs and does not give me a bright hope of anything ahead of boxing test. But what Bumrah and Akashdeep did was they actually crushed the morale of Australian bowling yesterday on day 4. And you could see that on the faces of Australian cricketers as they walked out. Especially Pat Cummins. Pat Cummins was a man on mission yesterday. It looked like he will pick every wicket if he does not get any support from other end. But he was getting support from Mitchell Stark. And then he got those wickets. 9 wickets were down. When Jadeja goes out, you could see that celebration. Mitchell Marsh taking that catch. It looked like India
33 runs. India were 33 runs behind.
India had not just lost the Gaba Test. It looked like India had lost the Border Gavaskar trophy. But then that partnership. And then on day 5, Australia, if Australia would have batted well, I would have said, yes, the momentum is still with them.
Batted well, matlab kitna? Matlab what?
No.
So but don't you think? But so they did. They went for like they knew that this was going to happen. They wanted to score quick runs.
I agree with yes. Their approach was obviously to go and attack and score as many runs as possible. But do you think they were really able to get those many runs?
But you know what I thought they did wrong?
Yeah.
Giving the edge to Bumrah and Akashdeep.
Yes.
Giving the edge, matlab
as in like
yesterday.
Allowing today morning, as in like on the day 5 morning. Allowing Bumrah to again pick 3 wickets. 3 wickets, right? And then Akashdeep, who was very unlucky in the first innings.
Yeah.
If he had gone with that mindset to Melbourne, probably he would have thought, okay, luck might not come my way. But he was like unplayable on day 5 morning.
Very happy for Akashdeep. Please play him in Melbourne.
Yeah, he should play.
Don't change your bowling combination again.
Please don't change it.
See, unless and until R. Ashwin decides to reverse his retirement, I don't think we should change the 11 also.
We have been crying for Akashdeep since Adelaide Test.
Exactly.
That play him. He's the better bowler. Play him. And Melbourne, a seeming condition, very Scott Boland-like bowler for India also, that might play into our hands for that.
Yeah, but talking about momentum change and all that, what do you make of the dressing room celebration, Saurabh? That Virat and Gambhir, some people said it was like, Gautam Gambhir, who has always criticized such mentality, ends up doing the same. On the other hand, some people say that, a team is allowed to celebrate, especially when they're down and out of the test match and then they see a ray of light. They are allowed to celebrate. Quick thoughts on that? What do you both think about it?
Kingshuk should start on this.
Why are you putting me on the bus, man?
Yeah.
So, people are allowed to celebrate. But when people comment on the celebration, those are personal comments, right? Like, I don't think that saving follow-on, if India are saving follow-on, that's a big problem for me. And I have spoken from the start of this series when you guys were talking about that, forget the WTC final, we are not going there. We want to win BGT. I had a problem with that also.
Yeah.
That as an Indian team, as the best team in the world, my ambition cannot be a bilateral series, however important that is. Like, when these England folk talk about that we have to win Ashes in our main focus, and we troll them for saying कि WTC final तो तुमको खेलना वेलना नहीं है, तुम साल में एक बार Ashes ही खेल लो, उसमें भी हारोगे. So, I think we are going towards that mentality. कि हमको WTC final से फर्क नहीं पड़ता. But BGT, our biggest series, the world's biggest bilateral, we have to win. I just don't agree with that mentality. Similarly, in terms of the follow-on, we are 190 runs behind. My problem was not with the celebration. My problem was with the people that celebrated it. Rohit, Kohli and Gambhir.
Rohit akele piche baitha tha.
हाँ, तो Rohit का, I also spoke to Saurav about that yesterday, that I thought that Rohit's reaction felt the most natural for me कि yeah, we have done it, but let's not go overboard with this, ठीक है? और ये लोग इधर भांगड़ा कर रहे थे. KL Rahul, एक minute. KL Rahul was sitting in the dugout, not in the dressing room, and he also celebrated. And I could feel for him because he's contributed so much in this series, despite not being the number one choice. Hell, he was dropped in the New Zealand Test series and was sent here to Australia to train as a backup for Rohit only for the first Test match.
Yeah.
But why Virat and Gambhir? You have been clueless, yaar. If your bowlers are giving you wickets and your bowlers are getting you out of trouble, then you are the problem. So that did not sit right with me at all.
I agree with Kingshuk on this.
What would Gambhir, the commentator, have said about
Exactly.
it?
Yes.
Gambhir, the commentator, was a different man, and Gambhir, the coach, is a different man. So Gambhir promises so many things. And one more thing, like we have always talked, that Gambhir never comes for the press conference when your team is down and out.
Yeah.
When you are going for a tour, oh, I am the head coach, I will go. No, we don't drop players, we don't do this, we don't do that. And then all those tactical blunders. How did you send Siraj over Akashdeep and Bumrah when you know that your team had to escape the follow-on?
And Akashdeep is a very capable batter in Ranji Trophy, pata hai?
And you have seen what Bumrah has done in the past for you with the bat. After that, Gambhir's celebration irked me the most. Virat Kohli is a man who celebrates everything. Okay, he celebrates everything. Vibe, he celebrates everything. So I understand that he gets excited when the bowler is hitting sixes. When
He has done that always.
Yeah, when Chahal hit a boundary 7 years ago, he was celebrating. So I understand Virat Kohli's enthusiasm. Gambhir, okay, you criticize Virat Kohli for all these celebrations all your life while sitting in the commentary box. Now you are sitting in the dressing room. You have made all those blunders. You lost a home test series. You have gone to Australia. And then you picked Harshit Rana over Akashdeep in 2 test matches. I don't know why you picked him. Now Akashdeep saved you the blushes. And then you are celebrating like, oh, we have won the World Test Championship. This does not sit well with me. This is the same Indian team that used to go and celebrate the wins. Ravi Shastri used to say, pitch baad mein gaya. And then Gautam Gambhir is like, oh, fallen bach gaya. Live bach gaya.
And that it also had a very Bangladesh vibe to it. Pata hai?
Exactly.
What was that match, Asia Cup, when they celebrated early and then lost the match? It felt the same to me. You're 190 runs down.
I understand. You have saved a test match. Now you should thank God and you should plan what should we do next. You as the coach. But no, oh my God, we have won it. Come on, it's done.
But I don't agree with that, Saurabh. I don't agree with the both of you because, the feeling of doing something, escaping, as in the feeling of, getting that breather after a tough period is alag. And it's team spirit, right? And you know that Australia were, desperate to give you that follow-on. And that was breaking Australia's confidence also. You could see the difference in the body language. And I think that it will translate into Melbourne and Sydney. Like, the momentum has switched in India's favor is what I think.
Okay.
And I don't want to criticize Gambhir or Kohli for celebrating the way they did. But I can draw parallels between two images, Rahane and Rohit sitting on the final day of the Gaba, composed.
Yeah,
they were just clapping. They were just not getting overexcited when Pant was smashing Nathan Lyon, Pat Cummins and all of them. And then we see this. I'm not judging those celebrations or the contrasting moods, but I'm just saying that probably that happened that way and this happened this way. These are two expressive people who are allowed to do that.
We are from the country of Saurav Ganguly who removed his shirt and celebrated after he won the
after winning a tri-series against England.
वही कर लेता ना भाई उस टाइम पे वही कर लेता ना.
Yeah.
मना किया है.
Akshay, you said your whole statement. I have a problem with your statement is we have the momentum. I agree. But we have the momentum only if Gambhir does not fuck up with his tactics.
And also
with his playing 11.
Like we talk about having this momentum, but see that they were missing their best bowler on the day after bowling just 1 over. Pat Cummins, a one-change bowler, bowled 21 overs that day. That's a lot. That's a lot.
And you know what? I think that India also missed an opportunity. Yes, Australia missed an opportunity by not allowing the follow-on. But India, had they batted well on day 3 or whatever it is, day 3 in the first innings, they could have easily exploited this 3-man pace attack. 2.5. Mitchell Marsh was also not bowling as fast.
Who is also injured, by the way.
Yeah. So you could have just, sucked the life out of that bowling attack. Like how Pujara did in the last 2 series. I still remember that Sydney Test in 2018-19. 2018-19, right? Sydney Test. India just knocked the daylights out of that bowling attack. They looked spent. India scored over 500, I think, with KL scoring 100 and all that.
Even last series at Gabba.
At Gabba, they were spent.
Spent as hell because Pujara defended so many balls.
Mitchell Stark, I've never seen him bowl as bad as that. If he fed Pujara, probably more than what his mother fed when he was young. It was like bowling outside the off stump, bowling outside the off score. Cow. He was that bad. And you could have done that this series as well. That's something that looked amiss. But probably to address your questions, Saurabh, to address your fear that Gambhir should get the selection right, Rohit and Gambhir. Probably 7 of them announced retirement after this. So you only have 11 players to pick. And then And then you can come back from your retirement.
And then you call someone from India and play him ahead of the player you have here.
Tanush,
Gambhir
that's
can do it.
definitely possible.
Yeah.
Tanush Kotian probably. Yeah, but looking at all this, quick predictions, quick thoughts. We still have 7 days of rest days. Do you think any change will happen in the Indian side, in the Australian side? And what are your thoughts for the boxing match?
As you have all said earlier in the podcast, had Ashwin not retired, I would have backed another change in our team.
Yeah.
But now when we don't have an Ashwin, I think we should play the same playing 11. If the pitch is fine, or if the pitch is helping the spin,
It
maybe
won't be that spin friendly.
Yeah, exactly, that is what.
Yeah.
Because Jadeja can't be dropped now. He has scored 70 odd runs when you need him the most.
Yeah.
Okay, KL Rahul is undroppable.
If you had to drop someone from the 11, would you drop anyone? As in, like, would you make a change if you had to make one change?
I will make a very bold call. I will drop Rohit Sharma. I will make Bumrah the captain. No, you want to win the test matches.
After what has happened today in the press conference,
yeah,
the guy on the right did not retire. So it's
not about retiring.
Yeah.
So as a captain, if you feel that India's performance matters and you have not been able to contribute that much, I think Rohit should be the one warming the bench.
The last time
Sundar
someone
should
did
play
that,
ahead of him.
Mumbai Indians went on to win a title.
Yeah, Ricky Ponting did it for Rohit Sharma.
Yeah.
So, but that is IPL. This is international cricket.
Yeah.
But I believe Sundar, if the pitch is helping the spinners, Sundar can play ahead of Rohit. Bumrah can lead, and Sundar will score more runs than Rohit, take more catches than Rohit, and pick more wickets than Rohit.
Kinchu, you?
Very bold from Saurav. We don't drop players, we pick players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't change a single member of this team, but I will change the combination. I will put Rohit at 3, Shubman at 5, Rishabh at 6. I anyway think that Rohit at 6 is a very stupid move. He should be batting at 5 at least. But Ganguly said something yesterday that Rohit is a new ball player. Now, your top 5 are not playing enough balls for him to come out at the 80th over and play the new ball.
Second new ball.
So make him play at 3 and drop down Shubman because he's not scoring runs anyway. So that is the one change that I'll make. But before we go to the Melbourne test, our prediction was India would be down 2-1. My prediction was that India would be down 1-2. It's 1-1, so that's good. We are still winning this. In case there is no rain, we are winning this 3-1.
I said 4-1, now I have to say 3-1.
Yeah.
3-1.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what would have happened if rain wasn't there.
Yeah.
What about you, Akshay?
For the playing 11?
Playing 11 and the prediction for the series now.
See, I still say that Jadeja and Nitish Kumar Reddy can't play in the 11 together.
Okay.
As in, both of them have batted really well. But if you still want to push with Siraj on and off form, I saw some stats. I don't know whether they are right, but Siraj average is better than Cummins in this series with the ball.
With the ball?
Yeah.
How can that be possible?
But that's why we have to fact check that. But I just saw a fleeting post on social media, but I have to check that. But with Siraj has been up and down. You can't deny that. Probably you start with Akashdeep and Bumrah with the new ball in Melbourne. Don't give Siraj he will also get some comfort looking at how these two are bowling, and then he can come back. But I still think that Nitish and Jadeja don't have place in the 11 together because that weakens your bowling lineup with Siraj's poor form. That's the only concern for me, but I don't think any changes will be made. And prediction for Melbourne, I think India are hammering Australia.
Hammering, like proper hammering, a boxing day test. That'll be fun.
Like what Rahane's team did last time. A similar hammering is coming. Pat Cummins and his men's way.
The only worry that I have is with Scott Boland because he's one beast at his own ground. But if we can see through Boland, I think we are doing this. Yeah, we are turning this around.
Rohit Sharma double century for me.
I hope that happens.
I'll come to this podcast a couple of weeks later and then say that I said it first on this.
Not a single double century will be scored in this entire series.
Yeah. Or maybe head scores one.
Let's cut this clip and keep it ready, Rohit. Bachalo.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's probably the time we have for this episode.
You did not say about any movements in the playing 11.
No, I said they won't change it. Because
no, like I said, Rohit at 3.
No.
Nothing like that. Rohit still plays in the middle order.
Yeah.
You're going with Gaba's career.
Yeah, because KL, you can't move him down now. You can't move him down. Shubman, you have told him that he's going to be project number 3. So I think
Shubman has told himself that I am going to be project number
3. Yeah. And I just hope that Virat gets more time to, they don't send him in 3 overs, 4 overs. To that case, Pant also. Poor guy has faced the new ball in all these test matches. And he has those, as in like, they are not Probably they should bat against the new ball more than the nets. Probably they should prepare themselves, prepare for a top order failure and bat, but that's it.
Cummins has gotten punt out thrice now.
But that's the change. That's the change I'm expecting, which is no change. For let's ask our viewers and listeners as well. They can send in their feedback on 858889669996. All your thoughts about what has happened around Ashwin, what has happened around that iconic dressing room celebration, and the thoughts for the Melbourne Test. If you're listening to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, please do rate us. Like we always say, if you're watching us on YouTube, please do leave your comment. We'll be more than happy to learn your feedback. Thank you. Have a great week.